Welcome to Seven Skills for the Future podcast. My name is Emma Sue Prince, and this podcast is based on the internationally selling book by the same name. This book focuses on 7 important skills. They are adaptability, critical thinking, empathy, integrity, being proactive, being optimistic, and being resilient. And this podcast is all about how you can bring these skills into your everyday life so that you are living a life full of happiness, full of purpose, great relationships, doing work that you love, and just really getting the most out of life. Welcome to Seven Skills for the Future podcast. My name is Emma Sue Prince, and I'm here today with my producer, James.
Hi, Emma Sue, and hi, everyone. So in today's episode, we're going to have a bit of a preview of this forthcoming Series 6 of Seven Skills for the Future podcast. So, Emma Sue, now, obviously, this is an interesting time when we're recording this. So we're going to do this series with a slightly different focus than normal, right?
Yes, we are. Yes. So I felt like this series should really be focusing on what we're all experiencing right now, which a world which feels quite volatile, I think, and uncertain. And I've always talked about change and about how we cope with change, but I really feel right now this is so unprecedented. And when we're faced with these kinds of extremes, that really the only way that you can handle these is to dig deep and look at your own skills. And when we do that, we obviously don't take the uncertainty and the issues away, but we can feel better about how we're navigating our way through it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it seems like this is the right time to go back to those 7 core skills and focus on how they can help us deal with this current situation.
Yeah, absolutely. So really in this series, what I'm going to be doing is going into detail on each of the skills and talk about their huge importance right now, and specifically how do we tap into them and nurture and develop them during the very time we're experiencing crisis. And this is interesting, I think, because in the book and in our workshops, we advocate making changes when the stakes are low, so trying to put these skills into practice when things are relatively low stake and everyday situations. And when we do that, we find that they are stronger when we're under extreme pressure. But right now, every day has become high stakes, for many people. So I'm really interested in exploring ways that we can still easily tap into these skills and use them, even if right now we feel a long way from doing that.
So we're going to do an episode looking at each of the skills and how it's going to be useful at this time. And
yes.
And then also there are going to be some interviews as well.
That's right. Yes. So we have a couple of interviews. And I think originally I was planning that these interviews would be aired, further down the line. But I found that when I spoke to each of these people, the very thing on our minds was the whole situation with the coronavirus. So, yeah, I talked to 2 really interesting people, both based in the US, and one. We look with one of them. We look at the situation from a business perspective, an organizational perspective, and leadership perspective, and with the other, we look at it from more of a coaching perspective. So, really interesting people. We have Barb Garrison based in Colorado and Jason Roscoff in California.
Okay, so I think we're really looking forward to this next series of the 7 Skills for the Future podcast. I think people are going to find it really useful at this difficult time. And we'll be back next week with the first episode. Won't we, Emma Sue?
Yes, we will. And I'm looking forward to this series very much. And I know that our listeners will get a huge amount from it. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the 7 Skills for the Future podcast. There are all sorts of things you can do to boost each of the 7 skills. If you want more ideas, you can buy the book, 7 Skills for the Future. You can also go online to our website, Unimentor, and join as a member, and you'll be able to access more resources, ideas, and free downloads. If you have a question you want to ask on these podcasts, get in touch through Instagram at 7 Skills for the Future, or on Twitter and Facebook at Unimentor. And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your podcast player of choice.